It's Mobility Month here in the Low Country. Back with details on this year's outdoor events is Katie Zimmerman, Executive Director of Charleston Moves. Great to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
So Charleston Moves, name is quite self-descriptive, but maybe you could enlighten our audience as to exactly what you're all about.
Absolutely, yes. We are a nonprofit advocacy organization. We advocate for biking, walking, and public transit, both infrastructure and policies throughout Charleston County, and we really try to build up a lot of grassroots momentum, critical mass, a lot of participation. So we've got a lot of people showing all of our policymakers, elected officials, how important multiple modes of transportation is.
And as a matter of fact, we just had Councilman Mike Seekings here,
yes.
And so we were talking about No Pay May, and just getting people to use mass transit on a wider scale. And with time, seeing those routes expand to accommodate more areas, more people, and so forth. So, and that also cuts down on emissions and impact to the environment. But when we're talking about kind of getting out of the car, off the bus, that is getting on our bikes and like you say, walking and getting around that way. But to do it in a safe way in some areas around the Low Country is very challenging.
It is, yeah. We are, unfortunately, South Carolina is ranked as a very dangerous state for vulnerable road users, and Charleston County sort of leads the pack. But at the same time, data that just came out last week shows that Charleston, North Charleston, is one of the fastest growing in the nation as far as the number of people bicycling versus pre-pandemic. So we're seeing more people getting out on bikes in an area that isn't really accommodating them quite yet, but that we're on our way. The region is slowly coming together, building a lot of really great networks, pieces of networks. So, the more safe, connected, equitable infrastructure we've got, the more people will choose to get out of their cars, solving a lot of problems, and the safer it'll be for people who don't have other options and are already out walking and biking.
Have you seen any positive changes thus far?
Absolutely, yes. I know a lot of people probably are sick of planning talk, but we've got now our very first protected bike lane in the city of Charleston. That's downtown on Brigade Street. We've got the Isle of Palm connector is now striped. One of the first instances of green paint in the state, which is something that's used to really highlight, make an area for bikes and walkers more visible. We've got more green paint coming. That'll be coming on Folly Road and in other locations. So progress is happening. It's really exciting.
It is, but there are still big projects in the planning stages.
Absolutely.
And when do you finally see some of these projects come to fruition? And is there one in particular that you're really looking forward to seeing happen?
I think, I am very, very excited about the new Ashley River Bridge for bikers and pedestrians. And that, it was so exciting in 2019. The federal funding came through for that.
And something happened in 2020.
Something happened.
That kind of put everything on hold. Yeah, so things, the cost increased a bit, and there's a lot of permitting involved, so that got a little bit bogged down. But the great news is the money has been allocated. We're back at the funding sources needed to have a 21-foot wide bridge for people to walk and bike across with or without assistive devices. The grant also includes upgrading 3 key intersections to get people to and from the bridge. That's great.
So this is a major regional connection. It's also part of the East Coast Greenway.
Right.
So from Maine to Florida, this is a big segment to fill.
Yeah, indeed. And we're seeing that completed when?
The city staff have estimated 2025 or 2026.
Okay.
I'm holding out for earlier.
So we're actually seeing a lot of development that's going to be happening around that time frame.
Yes.
So stay tuned, everybody. But in the meantime, you do have a few events that are happening. So tell us a bit more about the bike giveaway and also the bike ride.
Absolutely. So we're going to be doing, we usually do every year a Light the Night event. This year we're kind of tweaking it a bit to be on Bike to Work Day. So it's a light up your commute.
And what day is that?
So it will be toward the end of May. And we will be setting up at the intersection of Dorchester and Constitution in North Charleston. We set up, we give away bike lights, we give out information on how to bike safely to folks. Everything's free. We'll have free food as well.
Oh, great.
It should be a lot of fun, so people can just bike through and pick up their lights if they need them. And this is something that we also want to make sure to bridge a bit of a gap. You know, it's legally required to have bike lights. We don't want anybody who maybe can't afford bike lights to get pulled over, have to pay a fine. We're trying to get ahead of that.
I don't think I ever knew that. So helmets are not required,
right.
but bike lights are.
Bike lights
Isn't
are.
that interesting? Maybe it's only a matter of time before we start seeing everyone in a helmet. We'll just see.
So we're trying to bridge that gap with the lights so that no one.
Of course, it's voluntary. You're welcome to wear a helmet. And you can wear a helmet even if you're in your car. But
absolutely, I highly recommend it.
With bike lights, that is a requirement by law. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Katie, I want to thank you so much for coming in. And of course, we're going to share all those dates with our viewers.
Great.
And we'll be looking forward to new developments coming up very soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're back after this.